So basically a competition plan is the event, what you need to do during it, and work your way backwards. So what do you need to do the night before? What do you need to do the day of? What do you need to do minutes before? And so we're talking about preparation, yeah, like you can, preparing your tech, shipping your horse, whatever, that can all be in your competition plan. But it can also be, what do I need to say to myself before I start? What do I need to breathe so I can calm myself down? What do I need to do? So that's why those looking at the best and less than best performances can tell you a lot about what you need to do to be ready. Environmental distractions, whether it's internal distractions like what you're thinking or your worries or your focus on outcome, right? They can really affect how you're gonna perform. They don't have to, right? All these little things that can happen, but you can still control how you react to them and how you move on. But ultimately, what we want is to be prepared, right? To do all the stuff we need to do at the right time and in the right order and all of that. What you've learned from your experiences looking back at them is that the first one I'm always really stressed and I never do well. And the last one I'm always tired and I don't do really well. So is there anything that you could change before you start to make sure that you do well? So knowing that I usually have a hard time at the beginning, what could you change? Perfect, so there's a few things there. Well, one thing is I'll just put less pressure on myself. Oh, so easy. Yeah. I was like, no problem, I could just switch that on and off, it's no problem. No pressure, let's just go. So how can you do that? These little small things that you're telling yourself, this little self-talk, if you plan to do that before, if you put that in your competition plan, you'll get used to it and it will work. And once again, after every competition, you can say, well, you know what, telling myself that didn't work, so I'm gonna try something else. Mm-hmm. Right? But if I really get nervous on the first one because of the pressure I put on myself, I can say, okay, relax, it's just another day, different piece of grass, mm-hmm. or dirt. Yeah. I'm here. I'm here just to have fun. You know, that's your self-talk. So your competition plan is like, figure out what do I need to be thinking before I go in? What do I need to be thinking seconds before I start? Or an hour before I start? Do I get nervous an hour before I start? Or right before I go on? When does it happen? So what do I need to say to myself? What do I need to think? And how do I need to control my body, like physiologically? Like a competition plan, like I said, is to control all of the external and internal influences. So external, like when you want to prepare, what you need to do, when you need to go figure out what when you're starting, all that sort of stuff is your external environment stuff. And then internally, how do I need to manage myself? How do I need to get to my best focus? What do I need to do? What do I need to say to myself? What do I need to think of? And I mean, this can go down as much as to what do I need to eat for breakfast in the morning? Like what makes me feel energized, what makes me feel heavy, you know, that sort of thing. The way a competition plan works is you sort of write it out so that you do everything that's in your control to be the best you can be, right? So if you know not eating doesn't work, put it in there and don't eat. How many hours of sleep do you need? Like what's the best, what's optimal? And these competition plans sort of evolve over time with debriefing. So try stuff. Does it work? Does it not work? What works well? Change it for the next time, apply it. So you're always sort of learning from it to be the best you can possibly be. So it's, what should I do? So mentally, physically, the things you actually need to physically do. Why should I do it? So I don't eat breakfast because it makes me sick. So I need 5 minutes before, I need to focus on only the first jump. Why is that important? Because I know that that'll bring me into the moment, let me sort of let go of all the other distractions and focus just on what I need to do. What do I do if it doesn't work? So that's the third part to a competition plan, is having a backup. So, like the duct tape for your boots, what's your backup plan? Because we all know that when stuff happens that's out of our control, it tends to throw off our routine. got like one entire line right there. So pre-competition, in that 5 minutes before I start, I need to focus on the first jump. I need to just think about the first jump. Why? Because it, like I'm going to repeat it again, but it brings me into the moment, on the process, what I need to do next, not on everything else that's surrounding it. And it probably calms you too, and you're just focusing on the one thing and not the outcomes.
It simplifies things.
Simplifies it, and then if it doesn't work, I take 2 minutes, I breathe, and I talk to my horse. And then I go, hey, it's okay. Right? And bring you back into it.